the citizens. Oh my God, it was so, nobody else would even get up after she was up.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
Well,
She's a very angry person.
well, that's why I had to leave, because it's the same stuff all over.
Yeah,
She
why,
says,
you know,
I'd love to serve on a committee, just call me,
but
I'd
you
like
know
to
why
serve in this.
nobody ever asks her. She wants to
She's
be
been,
in charge.
she's been kicked off of other committees, and she's a drunk.
Well, I think, my only frustration is there
I
isn't.
wouldn't let her near my kids.
What's that?
I wouldn't let her near my kids.
Oh, yeah.
130 some.
She keeps saying she wants to work with the young people. So
For her.
And Stan, she,
You guys got to at a certain point, because it was over 20 minutes.
I left that for her.
It's silly. What's happened, Steve?
Well, hopefully she won't show up.
Do you think we're going to get that lucky?
I could hope.
Oh, God. So I hear they have another guy who was here earlier that was in caucus that's running for council. And I've never seen him before. Yeah. John was just telling me, because he was here with, what's her name? You know, one that's, that he's.
Senegal?
Yeah.
She was here today, was she?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she was. She
Yeah.
was.
Usually she comes and she'll sit there until it's crowd.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I'm
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I didn't see her out there today.
She's not there.
Bless you. Thank you.
So, President, how you doing today, man?
Good.
So this is, I don't drive this, do you? Just like,
Just walk down from here, down to town. Go to the gazebo.
take a left.
Yeah, then they do a little ceremony there. You walk down to the cemetery. They do their thing.
Yeah, I'd like to go just because, like I said, I sold it where I normally, with the honor guard for the VFW, they do so much construction, we just meet at the church, I mean, at the cemetery, so I might just do this year, since the Lord was. Oh, yeah.
Who's taking the recording today? Nobody? I know, man.
Who's our clerk today?
You you multitasking.
Mike got the new recording.
Who's gonna do the roll call?
He'll do it,
Yeah,
he'll do that too.
you can Mr. Everything, might as well do that.
He knows somebody that can.
Yeah, let me tell everybody. The mics are live. Who's doing this tonight?
Jim is. He's got it recorded, so.
I mean, he's gonna do a roll call and everything on that thing?
No. I'll have to do some, and John will do some. Hey, Bob.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I didn't know he was over there, he's in the damn
Oh,
corner.
it's all quiet over there. Hey, Jeff.
Blend in with that corner piece, I didn't even know he was over
I
there.
like to keep a low profile.
I see that.
Bad news about Chris, huh?
Yeah, what kind of flags that?
That was ordered by the governor for the Cleveland firefighter.
Which one?
Cleveland firefighter that died in training.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The 38-year-old cadet.
Yeah. I see that on the news. Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon.
evening,
I don't
whatever.
even know where I'm at.
Would he have a heart attack?
Apparently, he was at a training. He had been with EMS and transferred over. He wanted to get on the fire department. That's just sad. But hey, Bob.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Okay. How's the family?
Good, good. Pardon?
I've never seen them.
What's new since last Wednesday?
Or carts of it, they don't have liquor. And some of the stuff says bourbon. So it's got bourbon. It's like, maybe you, they don't have liquor. It's like these, bottles, one time, they're like from Belgium and Ireland, places like that. So anyway, OHLQ, liquor control, Ohio owns the liquor stores, buildings, all those through the state. They, stuff's not selling, they put it on clearance.
Okay, I'll bring it up. Let me write it down.
Oh, really?
It's better if I do that. Well, we didn't do Don or Greg.
Morning, sir.
What brings you here?
Nice to meet you formally.
I wrote it down.
Anything in particular you came
Work
here
session.
today?
Hi.
Very good. Thanks. Thanks, appreciate it. What's happening?
Not much, how are you? You call them Roberta?
Give the old vodka look out.
I can go
I'm
back.
good at that.
Is Roberta your given name?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I'm thinking I'm losing my mind? You prefer Bobby, I'll call you Bobby.
Just shaking his head, yes.
No. My neck is stiff.
Oh, okay.
I was ranting.
We have to have a fireside
Yeah, we
chat
do.
sometime.
Yep. You have to do that. Wish you were going gun hole at that park, huh?
Was it your birthday for real recently?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I can't.
Yeah.
May 66, we got a few years now.
So,
I walked back in.
How's the grandkid?
doing well. What's yours?
Good. You got all boys, right?
They put a sign up
Girl on the way.
closed now.
Yeah.
I think it's because I walked back
Wait,
there
no, it was Easter.
and I was just watching them work.
Yeah.
So,
And
little
then
girl.
all of a sudden the sign went up.
Well, first there was,
I was far enough away from them.
first there was a barrier very similar to what I was ready to
What if we should
make.
open that other door?
And he put it up, it does, to keep the cars out. I said, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna make. And then it was 1 or 2 days later, they were probably waiting for the sign to be finished, probably.
You need any
So I was curious
fast them out for anything?
if anybody was just gonna ignore it and walk in and make the
She's not very
barrier.
excited.
No, everything's second, no, I noticed the one is.
We're passing the meter when I
Oh,
think.
really? Okay,
Yeah, that one out. My kids are right away.
okay.
But they were using their equipment.
Are we
when
pass,
she
what
did.
about the tax collector, tax
The
advance?
other one I hated it until
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
playground.
but if they
Yeah.
pass it, we're waiting.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Good evening and welcome to the May 19th, 2025 meeting of Bedford City Council. If you would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As you can see, our clerk is away, so we'll get through this. Let me call the roll. Spinks?
Here.
Fluharty?
Here.
Salvi?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Asbury?
Here.
Mangino?
Here.
Cochi? Here. All right, we got that.
I'm going.
Council, you have the minutes of the work session of May 5th, 2025. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by Fluharty? Get this down here. Call the roll. Spinks?
Here. Yes.
Selby?
Abstain.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochi? Yes. You have the minutes of the regular meeting of May 5th, 2025. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance? By Asbury, second by Smith. So much easier when she does it. Call the roll. Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
And Mangino?
Yes.
And Cochi, yes. Okay. Unfinished business, ordinance number 37-25.
Which is an ordinance declaring this, an ordinance amending section 911.07A of the Streets, Utility, and Public Services Code entitled Charges for Installation of Meters and Service Connections for Water of the City of Bedford and declaring an emergency.
Have motion for suspension by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll. Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochi? Yes. Now you have the minutes of the, oh no, we did that one. The resolution. I need a motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith.
Mayor, this is an ordinance as it references to adjust the current cost for the replacement water meters. The pricing is for meters 5/8 through an inch all the way up to 8 inches that reflect today's cost. And this would be applied to all meters needed for new construction, as well as costs for us having to replace any broken or damaged meters.
Any questions on that? If not, call the roll. Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochi? Yes. Passes. Resolution number 2625-25.
Is a resolution declaring the necessity of assessing the expenses of garbage and refuse collection, recycling, and disposal within the City of Bedford and certifying to the county auditor the cost due the city for garbage and rubbish collections and declaring an emergency.
And this, is this just Motion for second reading by Smith, second by Asbury. Roll. Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi, yes. Okay. Resolution number 26-25.
Is a resolution declaring the necessity to improve certain streets in the city of Bedford by lighting the same and declaring an emergency.
Can I have, for this, we want to put also on second reading, can I have a motion for such? By Spinks, second by Salvi. Mark all this down here. Call the roll, Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
and Longino.
Yes.
Cochi, yes. Okay, ordinance number 39-25.
Which is an ordinance determined to proceed, an ordinance determined to proceed with the improvement of certain streets in the city of Bedford by lighting the same. First, you have to declare it necessary, and then you have to pass an ordinance saying to light it, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, so we need second reading on that. Do I have a motion as such? By Asbury, second by Longino. Fortunately, all this is being recorded, so it's all gonna be double checked by our secretary when she gets back, so bear with us on this. Call the roll. Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
and Longino.
Yes.
And Cochi, yes. For the record. Ordinance number 40-25.
Is an ordinance levying special assessments for the improvement of the street and public places of the city of Bedford by lighting the same in accordance with the prior resolutions and the prior ordinance. So we declared it necessary, so now we're gonna, and also to assess the costs for those services.
And this is what we do every year to keep our streetlights on. Motion for second reading by Spinks, second by Salvi. Call the roll. Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochi, yes. So glad it's short. Reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items here, just want to touch on. Reminder that we do have our Memorial Day Parade coming up on May 26th, and that will begin here at the Municipal Center at 10:15 sharp. We held a progress meeting for the Bedford Commons project, and that is moving along and currently on schedule. Over 80% of the undergrounds are completed. We did confirm the order of the large sandstone from the quarry, which those samples we reviewed, those will be delivered in 2 to 4 weeks. So we are moving along, and currently, as I said, on time and currently under budget, which is good. City of Bedford Heights is currently performing a large upgrade to their wastewater treatment plant on Solon Road. That is going to result in Solon Road being closed for a substantial amount of time. There's going to be detours posted, and that closure is, I believe, starting June 6th.
June 6th, right?
Yes.
For 42 days.
42 days, thank you, Mayor. As far as June's concerned, once again, June will be free permit month for the City of Bedford through the building department. apologize, I'm just pulling up some information here. And that is for all exterior residential permits. Those fees associated with them will be waived. And that is, also for owner-occupied single-family dwellings. Please note that all contractors will still need to be registered with the City of Bedford. So any necessary permitting, you still got to go through the process. Those fees are just waived during the month of June. Also wanted to provide a quick update. The City of Bedford now, being officially that we own the hospital site, we are going to be conducting some training both with our safety forces locally as well as some regional training taking place at the site over the next few months while that facility is available. There'll be the appropriate signage. For instance, this week we're going to be conducting some traffic stop training with our police department. That'll be taking place from approximately 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. In the parking lot area. We'll also have some SEAL training and also opening up to other regional organizations to use the space. It's a great, again, great training. And while we are speaking of training, I want to commend Chief Harding and Bedford Fire, as well as our police department and service. But Chief Harding organized today the Office of Emergency Management on a county level. They conducted a train derailment exercise, kind of like a tabletop exercise, and we hosted it at the Ellenwood Center. And it was really scenario-based, worst case scenario, train derailment right on Grace. 4 trains are off, fire, wind to the north, large smoke. What do you do? And there were representatives from the EPA present, hazmat present, local municipalities, our police, our fire service. It was a great training opportunity, and I just want to commend Chief Harding for organizing that. It's a worst case scenario, but when you're in that situation, knowing that our safety forces and our staff, they're prepared, and that's why you do those things. So I want to commend them for that. And also commend our safety forces, fire and police. They conducted some training exercises for the high school students at Bedford High School prior to the prom. Worst case scenario, car accident, there it is. This is what the scene's gonna look like. Why you don't go out and drink, on prom weekend. And it was well received by the administration and the students there, and they did a great job. So again, it's great to see our safety forces interact with the students and interact with the community like they've been. Also want to mention Taft Park. We made substantial progress last week demolishing the existing playground structure that was there. That is in anticipation of the contractor installing the new park equipment playground apparatus, and that is partially funded through a grant, and that'll be taking place over the next couple months. So substantial amount of work, earthwork was done, fence removal, space was really cleaned up really well. It was closed off for a few days just because there was debris that needed to get removed, and we're still working through some of that. With that being said, I think that's it. And Mayor, you will be happy. I know you were, I think you were pushing me in like 2003 regarding Taft Park's playground structure when I was at Parks and Rec and you were a council member. So took us a little long, sorry about that, but I do want to commend council for, it's hard to always talk about it, but until you really start committing even a small portion of funds to our annual budget, it allows our staff to use those funds to apply for grants, and that's what we were able to do. And we were able to use the amount of money that this council committed to, and we were able to get a matching grant. And obviously Taft was first. Second, we're now going after Greencroft Park. We're going to be doing some demo there later this year, and that new structure hopefully will be installed in the early part of 2026. That is the plan for that park, and then we'll move on accordingly. But that couldn't happen without this council's commitment to that in the annual budget, so thank you for that. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Montello?
No report, I hope everybody has a good holiday, and thanks to all the vets for their service, thank you, end of report.
Madam Finance Director?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll keep it brief. No report. Thank you.
Okay. We will start with Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening. Yeah, talking about the parks and everything, I think, Mike, I've been on your case for the last over 12 years, same thing about the Greencroft Park, and yes, Taft did a little bit more extensive work needing to be done at Greencroft Park with grading and different things, but I am looking forward to that, and I have been going and after grants myself and bringing some information in. Kudos to Mike Callahan and Bob down there at the park. They're always eager to listen to some of the residents' concerns about the parks and stuff, so I appreciate that, and I'm excited and looking forward to having that done. While we're on Greencroft, hallelujah, finally the potholes, the road was fixed where the culvert was done, so that finally got done. I was saying it was gonna be done this week, it got done last week, so kudos. The only thing that was good about it was it did slow down the speeders, and they're back to doing it, so I know our guys, our police officers are aware of that. With that, and the last meeting, I was talking about putting up barrels and things, because things has been open so people could, so we closed it off because it was taking so long for the excavators to get back to fix it, the road, and bus drivers moving the barrels and stuff. Well, kudos to the service department. They went down there the very next day and put up cement bears, so nobody was gonna move those. So thank you, service department. I owe y'all cookies. Those guys make my job easy. They make me look good, so I appreciate them doing that. It will be, I know Mike, we're still talking about what the permanent structure is gonna be. So right now it's just cement barriers will stay there, and then there will be a permanent closure to that to that. Couple of stuff, there was a stop sign that was missing in Tudor, that was kind of over by the excavators, kind of ran over that. That has been replaced. The street sign, I turned all these in, like, the street sign on Tudor is still missing, and the street sign for Greencroft is missing down at the end. Turn those in, so, again, thank you for getting that stop sign back up at Tudor. Let's see, residents, if you have landscapers, please, please, please ask them not to blow the grass clippings out into the street. Bad deal. So if you see those, I've been lucky enough to see some and stop and ask them not to do that. I guess some cities are okay with it. It's not there. Let's see, strawberry pies. If you want your strawberry pies, make sure you get your order in to Marilyn Kochi, the mayor's wife, by June 13th. Let's see. Garden Club this past weekend had the 37th annual plant sale. Was very, very successful. Thank you to Park and Rec for their help, Master Gardner for coming out, and all the people that pitched in to make this big kudos to Kelly, and everybody that pitches in. We got a good team there. I bought some nice petunias and the deer ate them. So please, stop feeding the deer. I beg people, stop feeding them, because when you're not there to feed them, they eat things that they normally don't eat. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Salvi?
Good evening, everyone. Resident visits and calls. Since the May 5th council meeting, I visited Ward 2 residents as well as responded to resident phone inquiries and emails. Section of Solon Road in Bedford Heights to be closed, as the city manager mentioned briefly. Part of Solon Road just south of the Bedford Heights wastewater treatment plant is expected to be closed in both directions on June 6, 2025. Due to plant improvements, it is anticipated that the portion of Solon Road will be closed for 6 weeks. Detour signs will be installed. I have a lot of people in Ward 2 who use Solon Road. City manager mentioned the updates at Taft Park, which I appreciate, so I won't say any more about that. Bay Market, Northfield Road. I visited the Bay Market property yesterday and could not see any visible changes since my several visits over the past several weeks. The interior of the property continues to remain a mess. The graffiti that has been visible from the street for over 1 year is yet to be removed. Even basic cleaning like the storefront window glass is yet to be properly cleaned. I attended the property owner's hearing this morning regarding the building code violations in Bedford Municipal Court. In short, the owner was given 30 days to make certain repairs on the outside of the building. These repairs should not require more time to complete. The owner is also still responsible for the eventual compliance regarding significant repairs needed to exterior aspects of the property, such as the retaining wall. I would like to thank the city manager's office, law department, and building department for holding property owners accountable for their actions and inactions. Eyesore properties, commercial or residential, work to lower the quality of life for residents and dissuade sound businesses and families from making financial investments in our community. Bedford wastewater treatment plant. As City Manager Malice has reported previously in his reports, the Ohio EPA is requiring the City of Bedford to make substantial improvements to our wastewater treatment plant in the future. I recently drove to the plant to get a better idea of the size and scope of the existing infrastructure. The plant size is much larger than I expected and envisioned. I think it would be helpful for council to take a tour of the facility for our own better understanding of the facility and the work the department staff do to keep the facility running 24/7. Although I viewed the facility from a distance, I was impressed how well maintained the infrastructure appeared, as well as the property. I left with the feeling that this facility is well managed and with people who care about the quality of the work that they perform. We buy home signage on McKinley Street. Mike and/or John, how long can people post commercial business signs on their residential lawn? I think I was told 30 days in an early council meeting in an R1 district. There's a We Buy Home sign on McKinley that has been up for over 60 days, not considering regulations of size, sign size, height, etc. Is this sign in violation or not, just on the basis of the time it has been posted?
It's not on the tree lawn, is it?
No, it's on their lawn.
It's on their lawn. Okay, I'd have to touch base with John and we'll look into that.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking and
Tree lawn, I will say the We Buy Home signs that you see pop up on tree lawns and whatever, we pick those up. Those are not able to be
Right.
posted. We'll collect them, our service staff collect them, and, those get thrown away. But when it gets on the private property piece, we have to check on that.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Thank you. Construction dirt dust on Winslow Road. Another question for Mike and/or John. I continue to get complaints about dump trucks dropping dirt on Winslow Road as well as creating significant amount of dust. The dust enters the homes of residents, on which at least 3 separate residents have complained in 2024 and this year. One resident invited me into her home and showed me how she could write words in the dirt dust on her furniture. This is an issue that have not had a solution. May I suggest the city have a sit-down meeting with the businesses who operate on Winslow to brainstorm a long-term, long-lasting solution that all parties can accept. J Honda dealership construction. The J Honda dealership construction has not yet begun. I did speak with the existing store manager. He offered to have the people who are intimately involved in the project give me an update on the construction schedule for my next report. Memorial Day. I hope to see everyone at the Memorial Day parade and ceremonies at the square in Bedford Cemetery. This holiday honors the many residents of Bedford who gave their lives for our nation and recognizes parents who lost their children to war for the benefit of all of us. As I think the city manager said, parade begins at 10:15 a.m. next Monday. Thank you, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty?
This afternoon up on Broadway and Union area, up by that way, Carrollwood Way, we were out of power all day today. This afternoon, Mike, you said you called them and they were supposed to have power on by 5 o'clock?
Yeah, there was approximately 201 properties that were without power, but the estimated time of restoration was 5 o'clock today. I can go on afterwards and check again. I haven't checked since I communicated with you earlier.
Was there an accident or anything? Do you know why they said?
I don't have those details, no.
Apparently yesterday the light was out up there because power was going out, in and out all afternoon yesterday. So I don't know what was going on, but I got a call today saying they were completely out of power, so that's why I called you or text you. Anyhow, hopefully it's all back on. Grass cutting, let's stay on top of this. I know it's been raining, but when you get a few clear days, you gotta get out there and cut that grass. Memorial Day Parade coming up, hope to see everybody there. That's next Monday. What, 10 o'clock that starts, 10:15? Okay, so, it'll be my last Memorial Day Parade, so I'm looking forward to it. End of report.
You can come back anytime.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
You come back and see all your friends. Good evening, everyone. Only thing I have is, I'd like to say just have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. As I said, last week is getting warm. People are beginning to just do some crazy things out here. So watch yourself, be safe. In the report.
Thank you. Mr. Asbury?
Thank you, Mayor. Stay on the line of Memorial Day. I just checked the weather and we know it's, how many days away now? Oh, 7, all right, 6, 7. Weather looks good. I'm not a big fan of heat and it's supposed to be, at this point, it's sunny and 66, so hoping for a good turnout. Just a reminder to everybody, our charter says that summertime we go down to 1 meeting per month, so that's going to be June 2nd, July 7th, and August 4th. And then September we go back to our 2 meetings, first and third Monday of the month. We were informed that Laura Spencer from Event Novelty Ice Cream has been granted the permit to run her ice cream truck, so I've heard that in the neighborhood the last week or so, so buy some of her good stuff. Reports of attempted car break-ins the last couple weeks, and they've been all over the city. Heard them on Wandle, heard them on Kenyon, over on Woodrow, I believe on Glendale, so it's not the same people, it just seems like there's a lot of bad people out there. So make sure your cars are locked. If you can't put it in the garage, make sure your car is locked. Do not leave any valuables in your car, and don't leave your key fobs in your car. It makes it really easy to take. So don't do that.
Let me just touch on that real quick. I did, before this weekend, I did check to date, from January until middle of last week, we had 11 reported. With that being said, there were 4 reported over the last month. So, and out of all those 11, every vehicle, the property owner left their vehicle unlocked. So it's referred to as kind of like a crime of opportunity, right? As the councilman mentioned, lock your vehicles.
Don't give them that chance.
Yeah, so sorry, I didn't mean to,
No,
I
that's
just
fine.
wanted to add some of that data there.
Numbers are good. Else. Residents of Ward 5. Now, this is not set in stone, but we are getting quotes for the road program to repave Daisy Avenue, Palmetto from Hawthorne to Daisy and into the extension to the Palmetto Woods condos, West Glendale from Turney to Santon Circle. And again, this is not finalized, but if it falls into the plan and falls into the budget, these are the roads that we're looking at. And I had one thing for Mike. Just before I came, I got a call from a resident on Broadway, and I believe we spoke about this back in November.
haulers from Mitsubishi are parking on the opposite side of the street where there's no parking. They're parking on the east side of Broadway. And the little girl that goes to Glendale there has special needs. The bus has to pick her up in front of the house. That's part of the conditions of the IEP. Today, there was another car hauler there. And so we need to stress, I'm gonna stop down there and talk to them, but any help, if we can get, there's 2 poles in front of her house, if we can get one or both with signs, no parking.
Do you know, could you give me that address too, just so I?
Yeah, I don't wanna put it out there, but yeah.
Yep, afterwards.
And I believe that's it. Have a safe and cool Memorial Day.
Thank you. Mr. Longino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I kind of bounce all over the place, I guess like I normally do, right? But I want to say, someone asked the mayor about the flag being a half-staff, so I definitely want to touch on that. Condolences to the fire cadet of Cleveland who died while he was in training, so that's why the flags are at half-staff. 39 years old, and that's not really young for, that's pretty kind of old for a rookie cadet, but he had a dream to be a firefighter, so he went through it, but he passed while in training, so condolences to him, and that's why the flag is at half-staff. On that same note, normally I wear my thin blue line flag tie. I forgot to wear it last week because for the upcoming police week, so I want to say to all my brothers and sisters in blue that police week was last week, so happy belated police week. Also, Mother's Day, this was a kind of crazy Mother's Day for me because it was the first one without my mother, but I also got to wish my daughter-in-law who's carrying her first child, my son, Dr. Thomas. I got to tell her Happy Mother's Day, even though she hadn't had the baby yet, but it's due any day, so I did get to tell her Happy Mother's Day. The parade, I know everybody's been saying about the parade, but it'll be the first one that I march here, because normally, since I'm a member of the VFW in Solon, and I'm a member of the Honor Guard, I normally march in that one, but they're doing construction, road construction in Solon, so they're not gonna march, they're just gonna meet at the cemetery, so I will be here this year at the Bedford Memorial Day Parade. And remember, that is for fallen officers. Veterans Day is for our current officers and, current military members and people who served and are presently serving. And on the panel, up here, it's us 3 Air Force guys, right? Frank and Mr. Mayor. So I just want to send a shout out to the United States Air Force, by the way. So, and I was going to talk about grass cutting, as everybody, my nephew, I hadn't cut my grass, and it was wet, it was bad, so it took him a while to do it. He had to come back the next day when it was a little dry, but it's something that got to be done, because as our city manager always said, we're not in the grass cutting business, but I'm sure there's been a little leeway because of everything that's been going on, and there's definitely been a lot of rain, because as he told me before, when someone had some issue with some flooding, that this has probably been one of the rainier springs we've had in some time, so we know with that happening, but now it's time to get it done. And just in general too, and I don't know what it is about the summertime, you would think that in the wintertime people would leave their garbage cans out more, but summertime people seem to leave their garbage cans out more, so let's get those garbage cans in there. And as I always said in the past, I didn't care before because I wasn't a councilman, but now it seems like I see it now. I didn't see it, I didn't care, but now I gotta care, because when somebody has that issue, and also with the music, like I said before, when I wasn't a councilman, I kind of blacked it out, I didn't even hear, but now when I hear loud music and I get that call, just be mindful of your neighbors and be respectful of your neighbors. On that note, I yield my time.
Thank you. Now, I would like to add, finally, the school board had their groundbreaking for the new middle school up at the Chanel property, a week ago Saturday. So, I've had many people ask, what are they doing? Well, they had the groundbreaking, they put up the fence all around the property, and they're actually gonna be building it, so that's good news. Also, a reminder that the Memorial Day Parade is a solemn parade, and we've been doing it here in Bedford for over 150 years. That's awesome in itself, that many years that it's been going on in town. And I see the kids out there, they got their plastic bags for the candy. And it's the armed services that are in town, it's their rules, no candy, no sirens. So it's solemn to respect those that gave their life so that we could be here doing what we're doing. And keep them in your prayers for all the fallen soldiers, the men and women that gave all for us. It's always a great parade, and then if you get down to the cemetery, the speaker is always right on. We've had some great speakers down there talk about military and what they do for us. So you can't get down to the cemetery, follow the parade down, and listen to what they have to say. On another note, Mike, you mentioned that the police are going to be doing traffic stop training. Many years ago, city council, the police department put us in this training, and I think we need to do that again. This reminds me of, traffic stop looks like no big deal. You pull a car over. But when they had us doing it, and we were in the side parking lot over here, 2 cars, we knew everybody, we knew the quote, bad guys that were in there, and we got to play the cop. They actually gave us a holster and a weapon. It was not loaded with anything. It was a paintball gun. Even if something did happen, it was a paintball gun. And we had to simulate the traffic stop. And so the scenario come out, and it was 2 guys, and we weren't moving the cars or anything. We just got out and pull over, and you approach the car, and the one I was doing, the 2 guys get out of the car, and I'm reaching for my gun, and the sergeant in charge goes, whoa, 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 no guns yet, no, we don't do that, because who knows why, they just don't know why they got stopped, whatever, you can't pull your gun out. I was ready to shoot somebody. And then when we got into the scenario, and the one guy started hollering at me, and then the other guy was kind of circling around, it got very real. I forgot it was an exercise. And it's scary. It's a scary situation out there. And these police officers do it day in, day out, especially at nighttime. I've always had great respect for the police. It's working hand in hand with them for 27 years. I know what they do every day. But to go through that scenario and the reality of it, it was really frightening. And they come out and they shot, and I got shot in the neck. I'd have been dead. And it's like, no, everybody that did it, you kind of, hey, okay, we're gonna hit, and all of a sudden, you have this gun in your hand. And it's a real situation. So, getting that practice over there, and I hope maybe we can set something up for council like we did back then. And I wish a lot of these people, you hear them on the news, oh, well, the police, you know, if they were in those situations, they would think a lot differently of how to react to these things. And I don't have to tell you, Tony, you know. And it was really eye-opening to get in there and do that. So just wanted to give a shout out to our police officers all across the country that do this day in and day out. And 99.9% of the time, it's no big deal. They stop, they get the job done. So if you see them over there, yeah, we want to get that here, so thank you for that. Okay, let's get on to the new business, resolution number 2627-25.
Is a resolution approving and accepting the proposed 2025 tax budget for the year January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026, and declaring an emergency.
Wow, seems like the year hardly even started, we're talking about 26. I need a motion for,
Putting it on first reading.
yeah. I need a motion for suspension by Longino, second by Smith. Call the roll. Spinks,
Yes.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Mangino?
Yes.
Cochee? Yes. Motion for third and final.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the first.
Oh, first read, I'm sorry, thank you. No, without my clerk here. So that's for first reading, yes. Yes. So, motion for first reading. By Spinks, second by Fluharty. Want to talk about a little bit what it is before we vote on
And
it?
just really quickly here, this is our annual getting ready for 2026. This is called tax budget. This is where we this allows the county auditor to set the property tax rate for next year for the city. It's 21.7 mils. It hasn't changed since before 2009, actually way before that. Let's see, allows us, the city, to receive the undivided local government fund revenue, and we get to get a certificate of estimated resources, which tells us how much money we have to spend for the year. So that's what this tax budget is about. It doesn't appropriate money, we do that later, and there will be also a public hearing on June 2nd at 6:30.
Thank you. And the roll, Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Mangino?
Yes.
Cochee? Yes. Resolution number 2628.
Yes, sir. It's a resolution requesting the county auditor to advance taxes from the proceeds of tax levies for the year 2025 collected in 2026 pursuant to section 321.34 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency.
And I need a motion for suspension by Asbury, second by Mangino. The roll, Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Mangino?
Yes.
Cochee? Yes. Motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Again,
This is actually done during the same time as the tax budget, just because it's related to it. This allows us to ask the county auditor to send us the money in advance rather than waiting for the two settlements. So we have our money over a few months rather than all at one time and later in the year. That's all this does. Thank you.
thank you. The roll, Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Mangino?
Yes.
Cochee? Yes. Ordinance number 43-25.
Is an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Cerna Construction for the right-of-way repairs at the around 890 Broadway Avenue and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Roll, Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Mangino?
Yes.
Cochee? Yes. Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This is for the property that the city acquired last year, 890 Broadway, the triangle parcel at Broadway and Union. It was decided that, obviously through grant funding, we took the structure down, and we will create a green space there. What we need to do first is address all the concrete surrounding and the sidewalks surrounding that area. There were two existing driveway aprons that you access that area for the parking lot. We want to do this the right way, so those will need to be removed. Curbs, replace the sidewalks. City acquired two separate quotes. Cerna Construction, Inc. was the lesser of the two, and it's our recommendation to contract with them tonight. This way we can schedule it as soon as possible, weather permitting. Once that is completed, we'll then work to fill, regrade, and then obviously landscape that space.
Thank you. Call the roll. Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Mangino?
Yes.
Cochee? Yes. And now we come to hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Good evening, I'm Terry Spagerbo, 96 Tudor Avenue. I want to commend our service department for taking out that tree that fell down on Tudor on Wednesday after that storm. But my real question is, when you were on your last council meeting, you were talking about the postal service. I have a 140-foot driveway, so I have these guys pulling in my driveway all the time and tearing up my lawn. What can I do to get them to quit tearing up my lawn? Because when they back in, they don't care. And when they pull out, they're all over my front lawn. What's the determination on doing with the drivers?
As far as damaging your property?
Yeah,
I mean, I would imagine you'd have some recourse. I think what you would need to start with is when your property's damaged, make a police report. Start with that. Make a report, and then if you can, you'd have to work with the post office. I'll be honest with you, it's gonna be a challenge. Can't get a mailbox here at City Hall. And I would say that publicly, but I would start with that, documenting the damage, and then coming in and doing a police report for it. That's the first step.
at least it's a start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a regular postman? Is it
Yes.
regular?
But it's not him, it's all the other drivers that substitute for him.
Okay, substitutes, yeah, okay.
Right. And lately we've been having a lot.
Well, if you talk to your regular, and tell them to put in their casing, when they're casing, they have cards they can put in there. Your address, it says, do not pull in this driveway. Stay off this property. Yeah, they have to case that in, so like I said, when the subs do it, they'll see that when they get to your house, there'll be a card before they actually pull your mail. And, well, when they get out, they'll see it.
Well, they have to turn around on my street because it's a dead-end street, so they turn around in my driveway all the time.
Right, but if you put in there, you have them put a card in their case, even when the sub case that mail, the sub sees that card saying, do not pull in this driveway. So you can go that route also, but you still have to take it over to the post office, unfortunately.
It's a start.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, Lisa Neal, it's 958 Archer Road. It's just a question, really. There's a nice little reading a conversation between God and St. Francis. If I could get like two out loud readers up there, since you're the leaders of the city. Does anybody want to volunteer for God or for St. Francis?
You want us to read it,
Yes.
or you just passing it out to us?
No. Oh, that's what I should read. Go to St. Francis.
That's a lot.
This has been around for a long time, but it's fun for spring, anyway. It's from Prairie Woods, website, or St. Francis organization. It's an out
We'd like to
loud,
read it.
it's an out loud request.
Yeah. Okay. we'll do
When you
that.
have time.
Oh, everybody got a copy?
No.
Thank you.
You don't want to read it?
I will read it. Yeah. Anyone else? Seeing none, can I have a motion for adjournment? By Asbury, second by Longino. Call the roll. Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.